Mm. Now, ain't that something? Everybody wants change, but nobody wants discomfort. Yeah, because I mean, in order to change some things, you got to go through some things, but we don't want to be uncomfortable while going through it. We always think that the road sometimes is going to be easy, and for some people, it may seem like that, but sometimes you really do have to go through something in order to push through, in order to get to the next level. You know, uh, I remember one of my mentors, one of her things that she always says is how bad do you want it? You don't want it bad enough. You don't want it bad enough. You complain about you don't have this. You complain about you don't have that. And she would tell everybody this. You don't want it bad enough. How bad do you want it? So, like, when we find ourselves, like, really wanting to change, sometimes we just really have to face the ugly truth about what changing is. And it may be uncomfortable. And people, oh, I can't do this shit. I'm so tired. I can't do it. I can't do it. Jeez, I can't do it. I want my mom. I want my dad. All those things. But it's like, you got to push through, Charlotte. You know, life ain't easy sometimes. It really ain't. And it can really be hard and difficult a lot of times. But the power that we have within us to actually make the actual changes and to be able to succeed, it lies within us. You know, I can just think back on like a real transparent moment. So, back in, when was that? Yeah, like 2015, I think, like 10 years ago. Um, I was going through some stuff where, I had a condo or whatever. It was 3 levels, and at that time, just trying to maintain it. My mom had passed away of some years before that, and with everything that was going on, bills were just piling up. Bills were just piling up. I had a garnishment on my wages and everything, and I just didn't want to face, all those things that I had to go through. And that was an extreme level of discomfort because I just refused to move. It was just like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. And because my lack of really taking action, I ended up losing that condo. Ended up losing that condo, ended up losing that car. I lost everything, all that. It just seemed like at one time. And everybody who I had helped or have helped along my journey, wasn't nobody there for me, and that's okay, it is what it is at the end of the day. But something inside of me one day just broke where I was like, I can't do this no more. And I had to fight through all those trials, excuse me, and tribulations that I was going to in order to be able to push to the next level. And rebuilding is definitely not easy. And I remember I was at work, and my neighbor, she called and she said, "Hey, Terrence, yeah, they putting your stuff out." They putting your stuff out on the street or whatever. And so I tried to rush home as fast as I could, and she was trying to, you know, get people away from rummaging through my stuff. And, I knew it was coming. So I had already mentally prepared for that. I had already moved some things, but I didn't move everything. But all the other things that they had thrown out in the middle of the street or on the side of the house for people to just go through and stuff like that, I literally was just like, man, this will never happen to me again. And in that moment, and it should have been before that moment, I became determined to keep fighting. Like, no matter what obstacles may come my way, we sometimes you may see somebody just smiling, and you never know what they may be going through, what personal battles they may be fighting here and there. But you have to be resilient in a way, or not in a way, in several ways, in order to keep fighting and keep pressing on and keep doing what you got to do. So I just hope that, you know, this encourages someone that no matter what it is that you're going through, you got to find a way to get up. You don't want to be uncomfortable. I get it. But sometimes you really have to go through something in order to push through to the next level. And in order to get to the next level, you got to keep fighting. No matter how hard it may be, no matter how many tears you may cry, if your lights cut off, if your phone disconnected, all that. And, you know, now luckily I never had no lights disconnected, but my phone was cut off. My cable was cut off. But you know what? I kept listening to music. I had a little radio in the house. And then with my television, with the cable being cut off, I had you know, just was watching basic regular television, and I had a DVD player. So just watching DVDs, people still coming over to the house. They ain't even know nothing was going on. You know, not until I got put out. But it's really time to level up. So no matter how hard it may be, or no matter how hard it may look right now, just know that there is another side, you know, where you can come out on top and realize your greatness and realize your potential. And then when you look back over the things that you have been through, you'll be like, wow, I really did it. And you can share your story and your testimony with somebody, just like I'm doing right now. You know, and there was a time where I was like, I would never tell nobody I got put out. I will never tell nobody I lost my car. Like this, that, and the third. Because it was just so much. So much. I mean, you know, and that's a whole nother story for another day. But, like, I was just like, man, I think at that point, I think I was really at my lowest at that point. Outside of my mom passing away, like, on top of my mom passing away, then turning around and losing everything that I had worked hard for. And I had put so much money into that condo. I redid it from inside and out. New roof, new siding, new windows, new doors, painted the inside, painted the outside, redid everything. Only to turn around and lose it all in the blink of an eye. And what started it was the garnishment that I actually had on my wages for some BS that it took them 6 months to clear up. And then they said, oh, well, you know what? You don't even owe this money. But then they didn't pay me the money back. But I found a way to keep pressing forward. So, again, all I want to say is if this is you, just keep going. You can win, and be determined no matter what that you're going to come out on top, because it's really up to you and how bad you want it. So if you want it bad enough, you're going to get it. So, yo, drop a comment for me, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, you know, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, talk to y'all soon. Peace. Now, how I cut this thing off? See, I'm still learning.